What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Brandon?
Not much. What's going on? Denmark's.
Not much. Just chilling, maintaining.
I am so happy we're able to get this busy man on camera because you know you always busy, Brandon.
Hey, that's an understatement. That is an understatement.
Understatement.
About to clone me, man. If I can get a clone, I'd be all right.
That you some virtual assistant.
Definitely need that, but I need some boots on the ground. That's what
on the ground. It's hard right now. It's hard right now to find good bodies. Good bodies.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to talk to us. Brandon is a great friend of ours, so I'm elated that you even said yes to coming to REI Live this month to speak and tell people about what you do, because you've been doing real estate since how long, Brandon?
2008.
Since 2008, when that was the sweet spot.
Yeah.
That was a sweet spot.
Yeah.
That's a long time. How many years is that? That's what, 12 years?
12 years. Well, yeah.
13, 14 almost.
12.
We ain't gonna count.
About 12.
10 plus.
Yeah, I think he's right. That's 14 because 08 to 2015 is 10.
Oh, yeah.
And that is 22. So yeah, 14. 14 years.
Would you change it? Would you do something else other than real estate?
No.
If you had to go back?
Nah. I mean, real estate is the change.
Real estate is the change.
Yeah, I left. I was a financial advisor for 10 years. I left that and got into real estate full time. So.
Wow.
Yeah, that changed.
So many people think, you know, if you're a financial advisor, you're making a lot of money. So like, that's like the same money as real estate. So why do real estate with all the headaches?
Because I was doing it for corporate, and so you still got the corporate BS you got to deal with, you know, bosses and quotas, and you can do good next year, but we have enough for me lately. So all they're gonna do is increase those goals. You achieve one goal, is gonna be higher next year. So
that sounds like our business right now.
That's real.
Yeah.
Somebody else like, let's just stay the same. Let's just chill.
Like, no, we're gonna double it. Oh my God.
Yeah. So.
That's corporate.
Any reason. Yep.
Sweet.
Brandon, tell me about your first deal. What was your first deal in real estate? In 2008, what was the first thing you did?
So first deal, actually, it was kind of I would say a alley-oop from my dad, because my dad he was in real estate prior to me getting into it, so he's the one that actually encouraged me to get into it. And so he was in a situation where he had a house that he purchased, and he had already bought it, renovated, had a tenant in it. Man, he expressed to me that he thought I should get in real estate, but he's kind of one of them parents that he wants you to learn it yourself. He's not going to necessarily give you all the answers, which is good. And so, but with that particular house, he needed to unload it, and I wanted to get in. And so it was just like, hey, let me just buy this from you since you need to get off your books, and I want to get into the game. And so that was my first real estate deal. So it's kind of like just an alley-oop. Just bought the house from him, get it off his books, and the tenant still lives there to this day. And I just sold that house about a month ago. Finally, that was the first one I bought, and I finally sold it. And I say finally because it was a single-family home, and I started unloading all my single-family home portfolio. And so the first one I bought was the last one I sold.
Wow.
And he's still there to this day.
So was it a sentimental value out of the last one, or?
No, it was just what I was asking for, and people weren't willing to buy it for a long time for those years. But now that the market has turned, and you kind of got to get what you can, I was able to get what I wanted out of it.
Sweet.
That was good. Okay. My next question was going to be if you still had it. So sweet.
Yeah.
So your dad got you started into real estate.
Mm-hmm.
When?
Did I lose y'all? Got you.
You good? Your dad got you started into real estate. When you decided to go, I know he didn't give you much information as far as like how to maneuver, what to do. How did you find your way? Did you buy education? What did you do to really learn the ins and outs of real estate?
So yeah, mainly, other than, you know, like I said, he didn't give me the blueprint, but we had deals that he and I kind of got into together, and so I would just kind of go on a job site, watch the contract that he was using back then, along with Flip That House. That was a big teacher of mine, so every Saturday I would watch that faithfully, you know, for several hours just to kind of see the transformation of the properties. And then I started reading books. Read a lot of books because again, I had a lot of time on my hand in 2008 because the market had crashed. And with me being a financial advisor, young, black, you didn't have a lot of people that was willing to invest money to a young person straight out of school, and then we in a depression or recession. And so I had a lot of time on my hand to read and watch TV. So I read a lot of
one book that stuck out to you.
So it was crazy. So the books I read, none of them was really real estate specific.
Interesting.
I was reading a lot of just books about money. So like The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That's my favorite book. That's one I read.
That's a classic there.
Highly Effective People. Who Moved My Cheese was a big one.
I love that book.
The Richest Man in Babylon.
Those real estate books, man. We adopted them into real estate world, man.
That's what I'm saying. So I guess none of them are titled specifically to real estate, but it was more so about a mindset. I started reading all them books I just named to you. You know, Rich Dad Poor Dad. That was that one probably turned the corner for me more than any of them, though.
I was waiting on you to say that.
Yeah. That one.
Whenever I hear you talk about cash flow, you talk about the rat race.
So Rich Dad Poor Dad probably turned the corner more than anything because it just helps you understand how the rich are teaching them, and not necessarily what they refer to as the poor is not necessarily poor financially. It's just more so poor mindset, because the poor dad in the book was a doctor, so he wasn't poor financially. He always encouraged the kids to go to school, get a job, you know, and that's the kind of success. But the rich dad taught you to know if you go to school, you create jobs, and that turned the corner for me after reading that book.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That literally turned the corner for us too.
Yeah.
And we started sending it off to every family member we could, and then we would go home and realize ain't nobody turned these pages. Like, wait a minute.
Right. Yeah.
That was a good one.
So how did you get into the multifamily world?
So, the multifamily world. So I had a partner of mine. He would partner with me on my flips when I got started. So from 2008 to 2010, I was only buying single family homes and renting. And then, you know, as y'all know, the market kept going downhill. So you was able to buy some of these houses that y'all are paying $80,000, $90,000 for. We was able to buy them for $35,000. They pretty much move in ready. And so I said, let me start trying to flip these houses. And so 2010, I solicited one of my friends, older guy, and actually, I got a plan. I want to get in real estate. I can get you a good return on your money. The market's not doing so well, and so he partnered with me. He alone, like, almost served as a hard money loan or a lender or a bank. And so, long story short, he and I did that from 2010 to about 12 or 13. But we started noticing the houses were sitting a lot longer because it was such a surplus of houses on the market. So, and I just approached my dad, said, have you, and I was just looking on the internet, looking at the MLS, just scouring, trying to find the next opportunity. And then this 16-unit apartment building popped up for sale, was foreclosed, and was listed for $120,000. And so, by that time I had played the game rat race, and I knew that my focus had shifted from flipping to just trying to get as much passive income as I could. That happened in 2011, 2010, I played that game. And so I stopped trying to flip houses and only started to find rentals. But I found this apartment complex that was on the market, 16 unit for $120,000. So I just picked up the phone. I called him. Well, I went and looked at it first. And I said, hey, I know we've been flipping houses, but have you ever had any interest in apartments? Like, well, I never thought about it, but what you got? So I said, I found this gym on, it's investment. I went and looked at it. It was $120,000. I was expecting to be falling over, and it was still in pretty much good shape. And from that point on, we bought it, and then the rest was history. I ain't never bought another house again, October 2014.
Okay, so right now, how many doors you got all together?
So ironically, I just sold that one I just told y'all about. And so I got about 100.
16 units?
16 units, yeah.
Okay.
Sold it. And it's a backstory with that, because we didn't want to sell it, but again, I told you my partner, I'm 40, I'll be 40 in January. He's 35, 36 years older than me. So it's more of a kind of estate planning type of thing. Something happened to him, and then we got to deal with family, you know what I'm saying? So that was kind of, and that was the only one I had a partner with. So that was kind of, and we wanted to sell at the highest peak of the market. It was kind of bittersweet, because we owned it so long. My first one, it was cash flowing really well, but it was just kind of a strategic move, thinking ahead, So now with that, when we selling that, I only got like 120 doors.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you said after that. When you said I only, and then 100, I shut down for a minute. I'm focused. I
only have 122 doors now. Yeah.
Brandon, that's pretty amazing.
Congratulations, man. That's an accomplishment.
Appreciate it.
That's a real good accomplishment, and that's an inspiration to me and a lot of other people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Okay.
Are those 122 doors including your salon suite?
No, it's not including the salon suites.
Tell me about these salon suites.
So the salon suites, I got into that. That was not planned at all. Not planned. Never knew I'd do that. But again, when you're just chasing cash flow, you looking for whatever can bring you the most income, passive income. And so I was working on a 42-unit building I bought in 5 Points. And as we were working on that building, I would come in and out of the parking lot, and you'll come to a crossroads, you got to make a left or a right. And every time I came to this crossroads, I saw this building across the street and had this little for sale sign, this big 5,000 square foot building. It was an old furniture store. So I finally just called the agent. I said, hey man, I see this sign for sale. I want to look inside of it. And so I looked inside of it, walked around. It was just big open space. At that time, I didn't even know what I was going to put in it, but I said, hey, I'm going to buy this, but I don't know what I'm going to put in it yet, but I'm going to buy it. And so we put under contract, and I started just kind of driving around the neighborhood, seeing what was surrounding it, what was the need, basically. You had a lot of people want to put an event center there. I didn't want to risk an event center, so I didn't do that. And finally, one day my mom called me on my way home, and she wanted me to stop by and see her because she was getting her hair done. And she was getting her hair done at Solar Salon Suites over here off 280. So I pulled in and never been in one. And I walked around and said, man, this is interesting, never been in one of these. So I started talking to some of the stylists in there. And then I went back to 5 Points and I drove around some more. And I know there was within that building I own, there's probably about 7 beauty supply stores within walking distance of that building.
Wow.
And so I was like, why nobody ever put this in the black neighborhoods? And so I started asking, those big boxes, they just didn't think it'd work. And so I said, well, that's what I'm gonna put here. Because who did more hair, nails, and haircuts than our race? So that's how I came up with the concept. And the rest is history.
That is amazing. Sweet. So I know you're going to give us some numbers. I know you're going to give us some details. I'm so excited for REI Live because I think seeing the numbers hearing it is one thing, but seeing it is different to understand, okay, this is how much it costs to renovate it. This is how much I'm paying in taxes, to really see what that cash flow is. Because I know there's a lot of people when it comes to commercial, when it comes to multi-units, they're afraid of what they don't know.
Right.
And I know you should definitely be afraid of what you don't know when it comes to salon suites, because it's not as popular.
Right.
But I think it's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
It reminds me of when I used to go to the flea market in Miami when I was little, and there would be different booths, and you would have your salons, you would have your clothes, you'll have your purses, your jewelry, and that's what that reminds you. You have your barbers that's cutting, and as you walk around, you can decide which one you want to go to. So that just gives me like my whole little kid feel, like I'm back in Miami when I see it.
Sweet. When is REI Live?
When is REI Live? Tell me if you don't know what REI Live is.
Or try this again.
No,
when is REI Live?
I need you to tell me what REI Live is. Tanya, you should know this like the back of your head. Really, Tanya?
Yeah, no, man.
Brandon Brooks will be in the place July 19th. REI Live Birmingham at the Vulcan. Doors open at 5:30. The event starts at 6. You don't want to miss out on Brandon Brooks. He's going to give you the numbers. He's going to tell you the good experiences, the bad experiences, what to look for, things that you don't know that could happen when you're trying to structure that type of deal. He's going to give you some insight on it, and he's going to show you what that cash flow looks like and how many he has and what other potential things that he's going to do based on trying to get more cash flow.
If you're trying to find your boss, you got to come listen to this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Brandon, we thank you for your time. We thank you. We're excited to hear from you. We always get excited when we hear from you.
And I'm excited too. Like I said, they definitely gonna hit some numbers, but y'all know me. I like, in addition to the numbers and the stories, but just that mindset and encouraging everybody. I want everybody to be out the rat race. I want everybody to experience freedom and that liberation of knowing if you want to continue to work, you can, but you don't have to.
You don't have to.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
that's an attack more than anything.